Hi, I'm Bob with Easy Estimator. I wanted to get more videos out to you guys a little bit sooner, but I've been so busy. I'm a working general contractor, so I'm still doing jobs. I'm estimating jobs. I'm overseeing my estimators. I'm also superintending jobs, ordering materials, so I can't get these videos out as quick as I'd like, but I'd really like to help the younger guys and even the older guys on how to make more money from your jobs. Now, I've been doing this a long time and I could never figure out why I'm bidding these jobs. I'm never the lowest bidder. Sometimes I'm the highest bidder, but I'm still not making the money that I think I should be making. Uh, I have too much month at the end of the money. Why is that? Well, selling jobs at a good price and I'm still not making the money. Well, after 25 years, I finally learned the secret and I'm going to show you guys today so you don't make the same mistakes that I've made. So we're going to go through some of that. It's really important. At the end of the time, I do a job and at the end of the month, I pay all my bills and all of a sudden, where's that profit? I thought I was making about, like a $10,000 job. I thought I was making $5,000, but my bank's only showing $2,500 after I paid all my bills. I go, am I not charging enough? What is the problem? Well, this is the solution. You can raise your prices, but with higher prices, you're going to get less jobs. That means you'll have to spend more money on marketing. That means you'll have to spend more time on estimating. It's not a good solution. You can increase your productivity, which means probably the quality will be less on your projects. And if you're going quicker, you're going to have to spend more money on marketing and you're going to have to spend more time on estimating. It's not another good solution. You can try to get your vendors or suppliers to reduce the material cost by getting them to give you a lower price of material. Well, unless you're a very high volume buyer, they're not going to do that. Home Depot sells wholesale to everybody. Most of your suppliers for plumbing, electrical, they're already lowered the price enough and they're not going to lower it for you as a contractor. So that solution's not too good. The least obvious solution that you have not even thought about or even looked at is by reducing your overhead. That would be your indirect job cost and your direct job cost. This can be in different ways. You've got your project sale price minus your material, minus your labor, minus your indirect job costs, and minus your direct job costs. You're running a business and you may be great at what you're doing in your trades, whether you're a plumber, roofer, general contractor, but you may not be a great accountant. Most of us aren't. I hate that part of the business. It's not something I enjoy at all. I always leave it up to my office, my secretary to take care of that stuff. But you know what? They don't really get it. They can't figure out, why we're not making that much money. And I really had to dwell into it. Go, why am I not making the money that I need to make? So I really looked into it. I figured it out. I knew it all along, and I tried to get my secretary to figure it out. She didn't do it, so I have to. And I went into my costs on my overhead, which are the indirect costs and the direct costs. It's just as important to be aware of that as the trade work that you do. You are good at what you do, but it's just important to watch what you're doing and make sure that what you're doing in the office is just as important as what you're doing in the field. So how do you take care of the direct and the indirect costs? Well, let me tell you a little bit about the direct costs that you have. Direct job costs are soft costs that are associated with that particular job. That could be your labor, your permits. If you're a general, you may have a porta potty, you may have fencing, you may have plans and engineering. Any costs that are associated directly with that job. Your indirect job costs are soft costs that are associated with the business, not with that particular job. Some instances of indirect job costs are your office or warehouse. Do you have one that you pay rent for? Those are indirect job costs. Do you have utilities for your office or your warehouse? Do you pay for internet? Do you pay for telephone? Do you have to order stationery or buy stationery for your business? Do you pay for advertising? That could be a biggie. I purchased from Angie's List, and at $200 and $225 a pop, that's expensive. You can spend up to, $20,000 up to $50,000 a year. You have vehicle costs. If you have a truck that you drive and you have the truck payment, you have insurance payment on that truck, you do have maintenance, and you got to take care of your gas. That could be expensive. That could be $300 a month. So you have to make sure you take that into account. You've also got insurance costs for workers' comp. If you have any employees, you got to have workers' comp. So you have to take that into account. And that's not cheap. That could be anywhere from a few thousand up to $15,000 a year. You also have liability as a general contractor. If you do have liability, that's another cost you have to take care of. Do you have medical insurance? Do you pay for medical insurance for your employees? And do you have office employee cost? If you have a secretary, do you have a project manager? Do you have a superintendent? All these costs that are not associated just for that job, but are associated with your business, you have to account for in every one of your estimates. If you're not doing that, then that's why you're not making the money. How you can hire an accountant for $1,500 a month to do that for you, but how do you get that into your business? How do you know what to add into your estimate to make sure you're covering that? Well, that's not going to be easy to do, but I finally figured out. We have the Easy Estimator app that had just come out recently. It's the newest version. We had one previously, but it was not like this one. This one has all the features. It syncs with Home Depot, has digital signing. You can accept credit cards with it, and it's very easy to program and to estimate. But the best thing about it is it has a feature that we just launched. It may not be out at the time you see this video, because we just uploaded it, upgraded the Easy Estimator app, but it's a great feature. What it does is you need to figure out your cost annually for all those items I talked about. You just simply fill it in on your app one time under the global settings. It will calculate exactly how much you need to add to each estimate. It'll automatically put that in there. So you don't have to figure it out. And it will show you how much you're going to make at the end of the job once it deducted for those items in there. So you won't be getting $5,000 at the end on a $10,000 job, it's going to show you realistically what you're going to be making. And that's really important because that's going to affect the profit on your job, and you don't realize it. But there's some things that you can do, and that's what I'm going to show you on how you can increase your profits on your project. It doesn't matter whether you're using the Easy Estimator or you're using your own system. You need to figure that out and add that to your estimates. Like I said, I hate the accounting side of business. It's boring for me, but I know I have to have that. I have to know how to make sure I'm charging for my overhead. I created the AI profit just for that reason, because I knew I wasn't making the money I should be making. This feature will take care of everything for you, and you don't have to worry about it. You're paying your bills every month, and you're estimating jobs, but you still don't have enough money. You're not, you would think as a contractor, man, I could make all kinds of money, a lot more than if I worked hourly. But you really aren't, because don't forget, when you work hourly, you're not paying the overhead. Your employer is. You are the employer now. So you have to pay the overhead. So you got to make sure you include it in your pricing. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to raise your pricing. You can reduce your overhead, but you didn't realize that's why you've got your pricing at the max. You can't raise it much more, because if you raise it, you could be losing jobs. So you like your pricing at where it's at. You feel comfortable with it. So in order for you to increase the profits on the jobs, you need to look at your overhead and expenses. So on the Easy Estimator app, it's easy to do. You can adjust them right on the app and see how much more profit you're going to make on every job. And then as you start reducing your overhead, your indirect or direct costs, and there's different ways to do it, and I'm going to go through it really quick with you. You can see how it affects your profit on every job by just tweaking the costs a little bit. I'm going to go through some of these costs that suggestions for you to reduce your costs on the indirect cost and the direct cost. Indirect costs are costs that are not attributed to that job, but attributed to the business that you need to pay to run your business. Office rent or storage. Move to a smaller office or to a smaller warehouse, so you can reduce your overhead cost on your office or warehouse. Vehicle cost. If your truck's almost paid for, pay it off. Or get a truck that's less expensive. You can reduce your monthly payments on that. You can also shop your auto insurance. Try to get a lower price on auto insurance. That would help. Advertising. Well, if you're like me, if you're advertising, whether it be Google, Facebook, or anything else, you may not have time to go out on all those leads that you get. So cut it off during that time. Don't spend it anyway, because by the time you get back to that client, they probably already had the work done. So cut it off when you're not using it. One of the things I can tell you that has saved me a lot, and I didn't realize it, I usually have to have porta potties at all my jobs. And when you're doing ADUs and additions, you have a porta potty there for anywhere 2, 3, 4 months. Well, I don't pay attention. If I'm running 5 to 10 jobs, I don't realize, even though a job stopped, that I'm paying $300 a month for that porta potty. Now, if that job stops for any period of time, I have it removed, because I don't want to be paying for it when the job's not running. I've had jobs go for 8 months because we had a problem and we had an issue. And I'm paying for a porta potty during that whole time. So that's one area that you can improve. Another thing that I haven't done yet, but I think it's a good idea. If the job is stalled for any reason other than the contractors, you should charge the customer additional money, saying if this job is stopped for any reason, because of plans, for any other reason, that's rain or something like that, that they should be responsible to pay you during that time, because you're losing money, whether it be labor or anything else. You should be able to charge them for that. Liability insurance. Shop your insurance. Try to get the best price. Workers' comp, same thing. Try to lower your cost by shopping it. Don't just use the company you've been using just because you've been using them. Send it out. Get other bids. Get the best price you can. The last thing is reduce your employee cost. If you have 2 secretaries, you only need 1, get rid of 1, because you can't afford it. It's costing you on every job. You're paying for that. So try to reduce your cost anywhere you can. Suggestions to reduce your direct costs. Now, direct costs are directly attributed to that job. I don't know, as a specialty contractor, if you're going to have a lot of direct costs, but I'm sure you can think of some. I've only got a couple. I have permits. I use an allowance for permits. I may bid a job and include maybe $2,000 to $3,000 for permits. That's an allowance. If it goes up to 4 to 5, the customer has to pay the difference. So I'm never taking the risk. I include the 2,000 to 3,000 in there. That's it. Plans. You can use an allowance for plans. You could say, okay, I figured these plans are going to be 5,000. They come out to 6,500. Use that as an allowance, so that way you don't take the risk. Anything you can do that's directly attributed to that job, see if you can reduce it. For example, I'm a general contractor, and I'm bidding the homes in Altadena that were destroyed by the wildfire in January. There's a lot of homes out there there's like 6,000 of them. And as a general contractor, this is like, you feel sorry for the people, but it's a dream come true for you, because where else are you going to build homes that are within 30, 40 minutes? Everything's infill right now. And we feel bad for these people. They went through a lot. So I'm trying to give them the best price. As a general, I've put in all my indirect costs, my direct costs. My Easy Estimator app, I use my pricings based on my past experience for framing, drywall, concrete. So all my pricing's already in my app. It allows me to bid the job without a set of plans. We use a simple CAD program, and I'm able to use the takeoff from the CAD program to do that. I have another video on how to do that on the Easy Estimator channel. But this one is important that you learn how to bid correctly, and so I've got and how to sell. But I had another general contractor. I'm bidding these jobs about $350 a square foot. Now, taking into account my indirect and direct costs, that is, I feel, a pretty reasonable price. I don't want to gouge these people. I want to give them a good price so I can make a reasonable profit. So another contractor I was talking to, this guy is much bigger than me. He does track homes, and he said, he goes, you better check your pricing. He goes, I'm bidding about $500 a square foot. I go, oh, maybe I'm underbidding him. But I double checked my pricing and realized that's not because my subs are higher. They're about the same price. The big issue is he's a bigger contractor. He has employees. He has a secretary. He has a project manager. He has a superintendent. He has a big office. He has overhead with utilities, probably trucks, So he has much bigger overhead than me. I work out of my house. I have one secretary or office manager. I have two estimators, which one works as a project manager. And I superintend the jobs. I also estimate and I project manage. So I don't have much employees. I don't have any rent. My utilities, my house, I put a little bit into the easy estimator for that. But I don't have much indirect job costs. I just have my truck. I put that in there. That's about it. But so reality, he has to charge 500 per square foot. I can get away with 350 per square foot and still make as much money on that job as he is making on $500.
Just click on the QR code with your phone. It'll take you to the easyestimator.com website, or go directly to easyestimator.com for your free download of the Easy Estimator mobile estimating system. It comes in iOS and Android versions if you go to the Play Store. It also has AI Profit, which was the video that we just completed here on how to use it. It will forecast your profit for future jobs, and you can adjust your overhead, indirect and direct costs to see how much more profit you will earn by adjusting them. It has ability to accept digital signatures so your customer can sign your phone or your tablet for the project. It has ability to accept credit cards, so your customer can pay your deposit or pay off the cost of the work with a credit card. It also synchronizes with Home Depot website. So all your material that you put into your estimate will update every week. So you'll know you have the latest cost on material when you're bidding the project. You have the ability for company branding, which you can put your logo or company colors right into the printout of the estimate. It's a professional line item estimate, which will impress your customers. You can print it out or you can email directly to them. It also has ability to print out a material list for your customer or your supplier to order supplies. Get the free version of Easy Estimator today. I'll see you on the next video, and I will have a video on how to set up AI Profit.